if you want to look a particular way and you can do it in a healthy way and you can be a healthy version of yourself by doing that, I don't think there's anything wrong. And I don't think you need to mask it with the word confidence if you want to be a little bit more specific with the word choice. There's a 30-year-old woman. She's 6 feet tall. She's blonde and she's fat. There's a 75-year-old woman. She's 5'2". She has dark hair. She's skinny. I see those as descriptive words. I understand that sometimes the words like fat or skinny, they can be used to bully other people, and that can feel really triggering. But I think it's also possible that sometimes people are just using these words as descriptive words, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. And I recently did a video on Instagram talking about this. And my take, as somebody who used to feel really triggered by these words because I have been bullied, I have felt like, I'm supposed to look a particular way because of our societal norms. Yeah, I get that this stuff can really cut deep and it can be super harsh. But as somebody who has done work in therapy, understanding and healing the pieces of me that felt triggered by them, I actually don't see it that way anymore. I really do see these types of words as descriptive words. And I understand that it can be a little bit more complex, but I want to bring this up to you because I know you're listening to this podcast, you care about health and wellness, and I want you to understand that sometimes people will use these words on social media, not because they're necessarily trying to be mean, but they're just trying to describe what it is they do, or they're trying to get attention. So if you've been listening to me for a while, I have been in the virtual fitness space since the pandemic happened in 2020. And I have been in different mastermind groups with different fitness coaches, and everybody is trying to get people to their page. Everybody is trying to get more clients. Everybody is trying to bring in more money. So when you have clickbait content, Instagram will reward you. The algorithm will reward you, even if you are, getting positive or negative comments. A comment is still a comment. A send is still a send. A save is still a save. So sometimes people will really go to these extreme measures to get your attention, to get a reaction from you, because they know Instagram is going to reward them for it. So I saw a video recently, and this woman in the health and wellness space, she said something in a video. She's like frolicking around down a street, and she's like, wow, nothing feels as good as skinny. And initially when I saw that, I was just like, oh man, like, is this the 90s? Like, what the fuck is going on? And then I recognized a bunch of different fitness influencers who are like commenting on her stuff, and they're just like, this is so fucked up. And yeah, there was a part of me that was like, yeah, this is really fucked up. But there was also a part of me that was thinking to myself, I don't know, is it really that fucked up? Like, maybe this woman really is just trying to get the attention of the women who still just really want to be skinny. So before you like pause or tune me out, just like stay with me a little bit longer. Stay with me a little bit longer. My MO still is not to push skinny. I believe we need to be strong. We need to be confident, but there's like a little bit more to it. And I want you to just try to keep an open mind with where I'm going with this. So I go to this woman's profile, right? And I'm just like, okay, is she like misguided? Is she one of these crazy women that I see, doing just like leg lifts and saying, don't eat protein? Because like, if I see some of this bullshit stuff, I'm just like, okay, you're cuckoo. I have to like get away from you. I have to block you. Like, this is just nonsense. But this coach, she doesn't look like nonsense. You know, she is promoting strength training. She's promoting lifting. She's promoting protein. She was a college athlete. And in her caption for this video of nothing feels as good as skinny, it talks about, you know, nothing feels as good as feeling confident in your body. And I'm like, yeah, okay. This was a clickbait piece of content. I see it, I get it, okay. And then I go to one of these other fitness influencers who comments on her stuff. And this woman has like a banging body. And I get it, bodies are all subjective, so let me be a little more descriptive. She's lean. She has clear muscular definition. She's mobile, she's pretty, she's got like all the things going for her, right? And her whole thing is like, train so that you can be confident in your body. And I love that. I believe that. Yeah, we should train to be confident in our body. But is it possible that people are just saying confident in place of skinny, so they're not triggering the people who are like, I can't say I want to be skinny because that's a bad thing? I don't know. I'm just putting it out there, okay? I'm just putting it out there. So anyways, it got me thinking, and I was like, if somebody just went to my Instagram profile, would they actually know what it is I do just based on my description? So I know if you're listening to this right now, you've probably like hung out on my profile, and it's probably pretty clear to be like, okay, Colleen trains people to be like fucking badasses with a kettlebell. Okay. This is not about, you know, looking a particular way. There's a lot more going on here that has nothing to do with aesthetics. But looking at my words, I'm just like strong and lean. Okay. And then, you know where my head goes when I think strong and lean? I actually don't think of my body. I don't necessarily think like kettlebells. I actually think like muscle mommy bodybuilder. When I think strong and lean, that's where my head goes. And when I said that, I was like, well, I am strong and lean. But when I look at these muscle mommy bodybuilders, I'm like, they're strong and lean too. Is this descriptive enough for somebody who is necessarily, you know, gonna find me on social media? I don't know. So then I was just kind of like walking and talking out loud to Tim, and we were just kind of like going through different words that you can use to describe something. And then the word skinny came up, you know, and when I think of skinny, I definitely think like some of the first things that come to my mind is like long and lanky. I think rail thin. I think skinny to me is like we don't have a whole lot of energy, and maybe that's just because of like my eating disorder days. But to me, skinny has a representation of being frail, leave me alone, I'm kind of like dead weight, and that's just like where my head goes.
Are you ready to start building strength but feel overwhelmed by complicated workouts and influencers on social media? Foundations is your answer. If you're new to strength training and want a simple, effective way to get stronger, build muscle, and drop body fat, Foundations was designed just for you. What you'll need to get started are just 3 kettlebells. That's it. These 3 kettlebells are all you need to unlock your strength, start building muscle, and start seeing real results. There's no fancy moves, no complicated routines, just the basics that will help you to progress safely and confidently. What you'll get when you join: simple, proven exercises where you will master foundational movements like squats, deadlifts, and presses that will give you strength and confidence. A progressive training program, step-by-step video and written guidance to help you improve no matter where you are starting from. A safe, effective training routine. You'll get to focus on form and build a body that's strong from the inside out. And the best part, it's DIY. You can start right away, no waiting around. You just buy the program today and you get to start building strength from the comfort of your home. You don't need to be fancy to get strong. You just need a solid foundation and the right approach. Foundations is perfect for the woman who is new to strength training and wants to take it at her own pace. She wants to feel empowered, she wants to feel strong, and she wants to feel more confident in her body. If you're ready to begin, visit www.colleenconlon.com for more details and grab your foundations program today. Again, all you need are 3 kettlebells. I'll take care of the rest.
But then when I think about what I've done for myself and where my body is at after these 8 years of strength training, I think, wow, you got really strong. And you do have this like slender build. I wouldn't say my body looks super muscular. And I think a lot of that's just because I see what other muscular bodies look like. And I see toned, I see sculpted, I see these words that I think a lot of women have been like, no, we need to get away from this, like strong over skinny. And to me, it's not even so much like we need to focus on being strong over skinny. I think we just like need to be healthy. And I don't think skinny necessarily equates healthy. And it's not to knock the women who are out there and you are just naturally rail thin and you're doing those things. I mean, I think genetics to an extent plays a role. I think time plays a role. I mean, listen, this past year I went into a surplus, right? And then I've lost the body fat. I have worked my fucking ass off trying to put more muscle on. And I'm like at the point where I have to realize, okay, this is just going to take me longer than I necessarily expected to see more muscle growth. And is that going to make me like hate on my body because, you know, it doesn't look a particular way? No, I want to embrace it. And I want to help other people get potentially what it is that I've gotten. And I would say that is a strong body. I would say it's a lean body. And I would say it's definitely more of a slender build than it necessarily is a super muscular build in comparison to the muscle mommies out there. And then I brought this up to one of my girlfriends. Who's also in the health and wellness space. And I said to her, I was like, hey, so I think I might start, you know, doing a little marketing around like strong and slender body. And she was like, I hate it. Don't do that. And I was like, why? And she was like, well, do you think any of the women that you currently work with actually want a strong and slender body like yours? And in my head, I was like, you know what? I think a lot of women work with me for a lot of different reasons. I mean, I know there's plenty of women who have come to me because I'm really good at teaching people how to use kettlebells, and that's why they're here. They want to learn how to use kettlebells. They want the technique. And do I necessarily think that all these women want to look like me? Absolutely not. But I sure as hell do believe some people, they do want to look like me. And I say that because, you know, when the pandemic happened, I went right into the online fitness space and I started showing all of these people, this is what I do for my workouts. I train with kettlebells. And prior to that, I think all they thought I was doing were HIIT classes and spin classes because that's how they knew me. And nobody was batting an eyelash thinking, well, no, like I have to keep doing the cardio. Everybody was like, yeah, let's do kettlebells like Colleen, because if that's what Colleen's doing, I want to look like Colleen. I want to do the same thing. So to an extent, yeah, I do think some people come to train with me, or you go to train with different people in the fitness industry because you do want to look like them. And I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to be strong and slender. And I get that society has been really nasty, especially to women, in regards to you need to be small, you need to be skinny. And listen, I think it's important for every woman to be strong and to be healthy and to feel confident in their bodies. And I think for some women, yeah, you do feel better being on the leaner side. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I understand that some women are going to be like, what the fuck? But I love where my body is at right now. And do I want more muscle on it over time? Yeah, I do. But I also really love how I look. And I don't think I need to apologize for it. And I don't think that I need to like mask it under like, build a confident body. I have a strong and a slender body. And if other women want that too, I don't feel like I need to necessarily mask it with the word of confident. I think I can call it what it is, which is slender and strong, you know? And I really do see slender as a different word than necessarily skinny, because when I was skinny, there was no way I could snatch half of my body weight over my head. There was no way I could deadlift 2 times my body weight. Like the strength that I have gained being in a body that is still, you know, I think society would say you definitely look more skinny than you do fat. Like it's almost comparing like eggplants to pineapples. It's just like two completely different things. And again, I don't know that there's really anything wrong with that, because again, a word can just be a description of something. And I think the challenge when it comes to words like confidence is a feeling. What does confidence look like? It's kind of the same idea with sexy. And I was using sexy at one point. And I still like using the word sexy because I think sexy puts off a very specific type of a confidence. Like when I think sexy, I think like jungle cat or like a hot car. There's just something that's like, ooh, it's kind of like tantalizing. There's like this je ne sais quoi about it. You don't really know how to put your finger on it, but there's like this intense confidence, sexiness, and I love that. But at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know, if you go to Pornhub, like there's going to be a different size body in all of these different categories. Like so many people look sexy. Sexy looks so different on so many people that I don't know that that's necessarily the best word to describe. Like you go to an Instagram fitness profile and it's like, I'm going to get you a sexy body. What the fuck does that look like? You know, it can look like so many different things. So I think I think when it comes to people in the fitness industry using these different descriptive words, you have to understand that sometimes a word is just a word. It's not necessarily saying like, you have to be this way. We have to like blame society for putting us in these boxes. It's like, well, no, this is just like what it is. This is just what it looks like, or this is who I'm trying to attract. You know, I think if somebody who wanted to be a bodybuilder necessarily came to my profile and like their goal is to, you know, become even bigger and even stronger, they would be like, that's, why am I here? That's like not what I'm going after. And that's okay. You know, there's so many different avenues for going after what it is we want. So my takeaways for you from this is, if words that are being used to describe, and they're definitely not being pushed as bullying terms, are triggering you, like fat or skinny, you might want to take some time to do the mental health work to understand why you're feeling triggered so that those words are not holding power on you. 2, if you are in the Instagram space allowing people to put content in front of you and you are seeing some of these words where you're just like, I don't know if I like it, or ooh, I really like it. Just understanding that people are trying to get the right people to their pages. So being really specific with the words that they are using, that's what they're trying to do to help save themselves time as well as save you time, so that you are getting connected with content that actually matches up with whatever it is you were trying to seek out for yourself. I hope this episode was helpful for you. And I hope that when you see people in the fitness space using words like this, you might think twice before brushing them off. I don't think there's anything wrong with people wanting to look a particular way. And again, I get that it can be kind of murky based on where we're at in society and where we have been throughout our history. But if you want to look a particular way and you can do it in a healthy way, and you can be a healthy version of yourself by doing that, I don't think there's anything wrong. And I don't think you need to mask it with the word confidence if you want to be a little bit more specific with the word choice. So if that serves you, take it with you. And if you're just like, whatever, eye roll, you can leave it here and move on. But I hope that just gave you some new food for thought.
Thanks for tuning in. If this episode hit home, don't forget to leave a rating and review. Women are stronger together. So share this with a woman who you want to see rise. When we embrace positive takeaways, we level up, and when we share them, we change the world. Follow us on Instagram at The Dangerous Women Podcast and let us know what you want to hear next. And remember, dangerous women redefine wellness and the world. So be fierce, be authentic, be dangerous.